What's up, everyone? Welcome back to A Land in the Stars. I'm Jordan, and we're back today with another episode of the Runabout Rio Grande build series. And we start today with something that's really cool, but we're going to have to get to that later because we need to talk about the epic mistake that I made 2 episodes ago. Oh, man. So, we're going to go ahead and talk about the green strawberry mod and how we're going to approach this build. We'll go ahead and review it, take everything out, take a look at all the parts here at the end of the episode. But first things first, we need to go ahead and get to the nitty gritty. So overall, I'm very pleased with how the Lake Monster mod turned out. The front grills turned out really, really good. The impulse engines turned out really, really well. You know, the nacelles, they turned out really great. But I want you guys to take a look here and see that, I've got you know, my engine's on the right side. My colors are on the right side. So I got red for port over here, green for starboard over here. I got all that right. But the problem is the top of this nacelle needs to be on this side, and the top of this nacelle needs to be on this side. During the initial wiring process of the nacelles, I needed to go through and make sure that I had everything right. I thought I had labeled them correctly, and I misread them, I guess. I went back and watched the footage, and I guess I did. So what we're going to have to do today is attempt to disassemble the nacelles. I need to... Man, I really don't want to do this. I'm going to need to snip the wires right here. Okay. And then I'm going to need to debond. I use super glue for this very reason, but I need to debond this part from here. I need to debond the nacelles that have been nice and sanded smooth. All the glue is nice and taken care of. We're light diffused, all of that. It's fantastic, but there's an opportunity here, that I'm not far enough along in the model that I can actually go through and fix the mistake that I made. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you guys. It's going to take me probably several hours to do this, and so I'm going to be doing this on stream, and it's probably going to take me a week or so to get this taken care of. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get this separated, get the top of the nacelle taken off, go ahead and switch everything around to the proper side, get everything resoldered, rewired up, and get everything hooked up. And then we'll come back and take a look at the end of the episode, towards the end, or after I'm done, so to say. And we will go ahead and get this cinched up. So, oh, buddy, I want to give a big shout out to Andrew, Canadian Starships. Definitely give his channel a peek. If you guys haven't already, he does some amazing work. And he was kind enough to point out to me that I got the colors right for the right side, but I went ahead and got this inboard versus outboard, and it should be outboard. Obviously, I could probably live with it. Maybe not a lot of people would have noticed, but I would have noticed. And if Andrew noticed, other people are going to notice too. And so, like I said, I maybe not, but regardless, I want to go ahead and build this right. So I'm going to go ahead and get this all separated. I'm going to go ahead and show you a quick little time lapse of me taking care of this, and then we'll be back to take a look and see how it turned out. And then we're going to go ahead and review the green strawberry cockpit mod. So let's go ahead and get to disassembling, shall we? right, so as you guys saw, that took a long time. Now, I edited it down, I sped it up, I did things, but it took a long time. This was not an easy process, and this was something that I really tossed around the idea of not doing. I literally I'm just like, the the red is on the port side and the green is on the starboard side, and we're all good to go. Like everything's there, but really I want my models to look right. I want them to be built right, and I want them to be done properly. So we got it done. So as you can see here, some of the lights might be blinking because I'm having two of these connected at the same time, and it doesn't like it very much. Some of the wires are a little loose right now, but trust me when I say that that is not actually the case for that. But our impulse engines are on. Our light is. I'm gonna stop moving it. Let's switch over to this camera here. It doesn't. This camera doesn't like. I try to adjust some of the settings, the brightness and what have you. It just doesn't like this. I'm honestly not a big fan of this camera. I'm likely going to return it and pick up one of the other ones that I'm using. I just tried to go a little cheaper, and we'll see, how that usually goes. And so, yeah, from the front angle camera, this one's probably the best one for the light. It tends to handle this one pretty well. And so overall, I was able to get all of the parts fixed, taken care of. Our lights are on the proper side. They're on the outboard side now. Everything has been rewired. Everything has been tested. We're all set. We're all good to go. The Lake Monster mod is working. We are solid and ready to go. So let's go ahead and move on to the next part of the episode where we talk about what's actually next instead of going back and fixing a problem, which tends to be the way I do things, isn't it? See you in a second. All right, so here it is, finally. There has just been kind of like snafu after snafu. Things that were just out of my control. Things that were out of HDA's control. Things that were out of Green Strawberry's control. A shipment got lost. It's just been a bit of a faff getting this here. And so for this portion of the mod to actually be here is pretty exciting. I've been talking and alluding to an idea that I'm having for the cargo area on the runabout, and I need to think about it and get moving on it quick if I have an idea for it. But after seeing this and this build, just going through the instructions and what have you, I think I want to just pick up the rear, the observation area or the crew meeting area, the crew area for the rear half of the runabout, because man, this looks really really cool. So what this one is the Danube class cockpit. This is the TNG version. I really couldn't tell the difference between this and the DS9 different strawberry kit, green strawberry kit, but other than the price. So if you do know if there is a difference between the TNG and the DS9 version, please let me know. I really didn't see any difference. And I didn't just go for the price, because ultimately in the end I went with the cheaper option because I couldn't tell the difference. So that's what that is. So let's go ahead and take a look. I've already opened this once, but let's go ahead and take a look for all of our parts here. So let's go ahead and pull out our resin pieces, and we'll start with those. We have our clear pieces. This is going to be the console, and then our backlighting for different console pieces, different like light panels throughout the ship. So there is our cockpit, and what we're going to be doing with this, we're going to be putting a like an aqua gloss. We're going to be putting the Alclad aqua gloss down across the top here to give it a perfectly smooth and even surface. And then we're going to put our decals on, and then we're going to put that same aqua gloss across the top. Then we're going to mask it and then paint it, and then pull that off, and then we're going to go ahead and see how all that turned out. And then there's other layers of stickers on there, but or decals, excuse me. But here's our console, and then here are our backlit pieces. So these basically are for the transporter, and this basically sits inside the walls of the transporter to make light go through. And then these two little pieces right there fit into the back wall and are used to light up some consoles on the very back wall near the door to the back. So those are our clear pieces. And here are the resin pieces, and this is pretty cool. I haven't actually opened and looked at these yet, so let's go ahead and do so now. So this is the floor, and then this is where the console gets put into place, and then the chairs go right here. Here's where the transporter goes. And we're going to be able to put a light right here, and as you can see, there is LED or wire channels built into this model because they were thinking ahead for that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put two addressable LEDs in here. And we're going to be able to choose which one of the two transporter pads activate. We'll be doing the same thing on the top. And we'll talk more about that as we get into that in the next episode, which we're going to be building this. Here is the back wall. So those two clear pieces, the small clear pieces that we're talking about, they fit into the back wall right back here. We need to punch out the rest of the resin here. But they fit into the console right there, and then there's a film and then a decal that we're going to put there, and it looks like the console is lit up. And then this is a door which has a bit of photo etch, and we get to get that classic look of what the rear entry into the crew area for the Runabout is. And then let's just go ahead and kind of get some of these pieces towards the top here. Here is our transporter booth, fairly recognizable. We need to clear out these center pieces. It's just part of the resin molding. And then, same thing here. We have some pieces that we need to clear out right there. Those are the windows inside the cockpit. And so, they will basically be fitting in just like that. Very cool. And then we have some chairs and some various other small bits, which I don't want to try to put back in there. So there are all of the different resin pieces, and the quality on these are really, really ridiculous. Like, say what you will about the photo etch from Green Strawberry, their attention to detail is ridiculous. This is so cool. All right, now, speaking of photo etch, that just popped out. And this is also not the typical Green Strawberry photo etch. This is not the super thin stuff. This is their thicker stuff, and I'm really pleased to see that. This is really nice photo etch, and I really like how they do these parts that have not been treated because you can choose to paint them, and they give you the option of priming it right directly on the surface. Very, very cool. So we have our instructions. I'm going to be using the digital instructions, and we will get into that as I'm going to put the digital instructions up on the corner of the screen up here as we're going through the build. And so I'm going to go ahead and set these off to the side real quick, and I'm going to be using these more as an envelope for all of these pieces right here. And let's start with the decal sheet. So there are all of the decals. You can see all of the different consoles and different doorways and 23 and 25, bottom left corner there. You can see that those are the consoles that we're going to be lighting up. 24 right underneath my thumb, which has got some paint on it. I've been painting and modeling all day. 24 and 25 are for the transporter, and these fit behind some films, and so these will be able to be lit up. And as you can see, they're very authentic to what we're used to seeing from Deep Space Nine. So there's that. Here are our masks, and it's kind of hard to pick up, but like right there in that light, you might be able to pick it up. There are the masks, and it's for the consoles and various parts that we're going to be putting the decals down first and then masking off later on. So that's them. Here are some paper transfers in case you're not going to be lighting the model. You can use that, and you're going to be using the stickers. You're going to want to use this. Here are the films, and so these fit back behind any lighted consoles or anything like that outside of the main control panel, as that is a clear part. But these are part of the modeling process, and we'll show you what that looks like as we're going along. And then here are the stickers. Decals are obviously used in certain spots, but if you want to use stickers on the console and you don't want to light your model, this is also an option for you. It's very cool to have these. I imagine that I will use them later on for various projects. And so there we are, my friends. Let's go ahead and zoom out. So there it is. The green strawberry mod is here. We have completed now, after all of the extra work that we've done, we've gone ahead and completed all of the various bits with the nacelles. The rest of the warp sled is all taken care of. We've fixed and got all of our lighting proper. Everything is working, so it's time. In the next episode, we're going to be covering half of the build of the cockpit, as it is going to be very detailed. But I want to go ahead and breeze through this because I don't want to drag this build out for too long. This one is going to have several different components over the next year or so, and with a special diorama that I want to build for it and various little bits. And so I want to kind of move through this, but this is like one of the most important parts so that we can get the rest of the model put together. And so we're going to be taking care of this over the next 2 episodes. So go ahead and look forward to that next time as we come back to building the Runabout Rio Grande and getting into finishing up and building this amazing mod from Green Strawberry. My friends over there are just crazy with the work that they do. Check them out, greenstrawberry.cz. So that's going to be for next time. But that's also what I got for you today. So I just want to say thank you. I know that there was a million things y'all could have done today. Instead, you spent a couple minutes with me watching me fix a model, which I think is pretty damn cool. If you guys have any questions or comments, tips, tricks, please leave them down below. If you'd like to support the channel, please like and subscribe. And my friends, until we see each other again, I hope you all have a wonderful day in this beautiful world wherever you happen to be. And just remember, Ferengi rule of acquisition number 8, small print leads to big risk. Good night, everybody.